for Final Fantasy VIII. Like, so she promised the community that she was going to play whatever game they selected, and she hasn't done it.
So are you stepping up? Is that what's happening here?
Well, that's not really what's happening. What's happening is that in my attempts to get other people to vote for Final Fantasy VIII, I ended up remembering how much I love Final Fantasy VIII. So then I just decided to play it myself.
Okay.
So this is all from a fresh playthrough that started from that.
So how far in is this?
This is somewhere in Disc 3. I actually don't remember what I'm supposed to do here.
You already made it to Disc 3? How long ago did you start it?
Somewhere in like late August, I think.
Okay.
Maybe early September. No, it was early September. So, yeah, I've got a couple months in on it. But, I mean, I haven't played it. I didn't play it much in October at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Turns out, holiday season, lots of games, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so, like, I beat the bad guy here.
Was that a boss that you fought with the weird arms? Was that just a common enemy?
No, that was a boss.
Oh, you trounced him.
Well, I did sort of a... He's like an undead enemy, and there's
You
kind
use
of
a Phoenix Down?
There's kind of a cheat to it, yeah.
There's that, there's the one sort of...
There we go.
What boss was it in Final Fantasy VII in like a cave? There's like a sort of like a Native American theme sort of shaman type character.
I remember the cave. I don't remember
in
the...
Final Fantasy VI? Or 7, I'm sorry. It's, I don't know.
Mine, Jason.
Okay. Character. Oh, I don't know, something in Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, you can use a Phoenix Down on someone and kill them one hit. It's an undead character. He's usually very difficult.
It works on the Ghost Train.
Giorgio?
Oh, really? On the Ghost Train in 6?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or no, actually, you know what? Maybe not a Phoenix Down. You may have to use a Revive on it. Maybe it's Revive. Anyway.
It's Cosmo Canyon. That's what I figured. The Undead GI is what you're saying. I thought everyone was just saying Game Informer.
Or something.
Franklin, come here, bud. Or don't. You're an independent dog. Yeah, Doomsday is saying he doesn't remember that boss fight in 7. It was probably just a normal boss fight for you. It was only remarkable for me because like that was you always hit that first boss fight where it's like really really challenging. You get shut down, have to grind for a while.
Yeah.
That was that one for me in 7, but I just used the Phoenix Down trick. So.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, will you do me a favor? Just take him upstairs.
Give me one. Yeah, we can do it.
You guys, here, put this. Put this in there with him.
Yeah, Franklin's gonna go away for a while. Okay. To the big cage upstairs.
You want to help me bring Franklin upstairs?
Yeah.
You take off the purple stuff.
The purple stuff.
All right.
Kukamunga asks if we're going to be playing online games with the community. I mean, if that's something that you want to... We're going to be accepting donations for requests between, I think it's like 9 and midnight. So, I mean, if that's a request that, someone wants to play some online games, that's totally something that's an option. I think Zach's going to be setting that up more formally. About, like, are we still doing the requests and stuff? And
Yes, you don't need to donate, though.
we're just going to do requests straight up. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we're just going to be doing straight up requests between 9 and 12.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'll write those down. And
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll just kind of pitch it out there, and we're gonna get the. So if there's an online game someone wants to play, we'll cross that bridge later. So stay tuned for that. Someone suggests GTA 5. I would not argue against that.
Yeah.
But who is everyone's favorite character from 8 who played it? Like, who stands out to those who are watching? I'm trying to figure out who...
It's a lot easier to pick your least favorite character,
Okay.
which anyone who knows anything, it says it's Zell. No one likes Zell.
You see, I kind of liked Zell. Oh, a lot of Lagunas. I wonder if that's because he's so mysterious.
Laguna is the easiest character to like.
Wait, is Zell your favorites, everyone?
No.
Like, I'm seeing
no.
a lot of Zells.
Zell is the worst.
Zells and Lagunas. Someone voted for Chicken Wuss, which
That's Zell.
I'm not sure I unlocked that character.
No, that's Cypher's nickname for Zell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. We got a Cypher. Wow, a lot of people liked Zell.
That's too bad.
Is it Zell because he's kind of like a tough guy? He hides behind like a tough guy.
Yeah, he's
Guys,
just
right?
kind of their stock, goofy, enthusiastic guy. He's not
Okay.
that much different from like Waka or Snow or any
Yeah, he's
or
the same
those guys.
sidekick
Yeah.
character.
Zergwin votes, I hate 8 lol. So I mean, there's that to consider too.
Yeah, I mean, this was a surprisingly divisive game, I think.
It's my favorite. Favorite Final Fantasy. So.
Yeah,
Someone compared Zell to Sabin, which is unfair.
the Sabin is rad.
They're in different levels. Someone wants to donate kittens. Don't do that. I love kittens,
Humane
unless they're temporary
Society.
kittens or made of chocolate or something.
Right.
Chocobo's favorite character of Professor Kokono.
Man, I don't.
Someone
remember
reminded
who
us that
brings
Sabin
exemptions.
suplexes a train, and that did happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We
Sabin's
can't.
the best.
We're not gonna forget that ever.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can understand why some people were disappointed in 8, coming off of 7, but there's just so many things about this game that appeal to me, kind of from like a mechanic standpoint. Like, the story isn't my favorite, but I really like the junction system. Partially because I'm definitely an optimizer when it comes to games, and like that is a system that allows, if you're just careful about it, like if you just research it carefully, you can make your guys so much more powerful than they should be for whatever stage of the game that you're at.
If you experiment a lot and shuffle like the magics that you've drawn, I remember just breaking it all down, like unequipping all of the drawn magic and re-equipping and finding out that Quake was just like amazing for like defense or something.
Yeah.
And writing down in a notebook like all of the, the sort of templates I had. And it was so satisfying. I spent like an hour and a half doing that one night, and then it went from kind of being an underdog to like steamrolling everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That happens with like, part of what makes it fun is that if you're willing to play a lot of the card game, you can really pump yourself up really quickly. Like I mean, like you mentioned, Quake is something you can get before you even you can have your dudes outfitted with that before you even leave the garden.
Yeah.
Really.
It's. And the Triple Triad was actually a pretty fun game as far as mini games go. I went for 100% in this game. I got everything and leveled everyone up, and like Triple Triad was tough. I think I remember. I don't know if it's specifically Ultimecia is like really difficult. I think because you can battle her. I think that's her name, right? Ultimecia.
Yeah. She's like the final thing.
Oh, there's 2 questions that keep showing up. One is one person asks about Dan's cat. I want to just correct that. That is Dan's cat's my cat. Macho, who's doing well. He doesn't jump in urine anymore. He's getting really cuddly. He gets along with other cats. I saw him grooming one of Ben Reeves' cats. I locked him in a bathroom for 3 days because they're not supposed to go near each other. I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. That'd be terrible. That was just mostly a knock against Reeves. Anyway, that cat's awesome. So that's that. And then I also am supposed to ask Joe about Dual Destinies.
Oh yeah, what about it? Just tell me about
it says
Dual
Tim.
Destinies.
I can't even read this because it's like a weird teal. Will Hero. Tim, ask Joe about Dual Destinies, please.
I've been playing Dual Destinies, the new Ace Attorney game. I don't know, I'm a huge fan of the series, and this game is pretty much what I, as a big fan of the series, want from an Ace Attorney game.
How awesome is it? They clarified.
It's pretty awesome. I think I ultimately agree with Brian's review. That's when you're dealing with. I wish I know what to do here. Does anyone remember?
Oh,
what to
sorry,
do here?
I don't know how to look this up.
Anyway, I should have brought that strategy guide. I generally agree with Brian's review, actually, partially because when you're dealing with a game like that's like largely just an interactive story, you need to try a little harder to change things up. And I feel like in the new Ace Attorney game, they don't do a whole lot that's different. It doesn't feel like they're enough sort of new blood injected into it.
Yeah.
So, I understand the criticisms in that regard, but I'm still having a great time with it.
I understand what you're saying.
It made me put Pokemon on hold. I was playing Pokemon for a little while.
Does anyone know where to go at this point? Just put it out there, and we can let
sure.
we can let Joe focus on what's going on here. But
He's got it.
oh, you figured it out? Okay.
Yeah, Laguna's gonna go cower in the corner.
So Hobbit
Okay.
Zombie says Final Fantasy X is his favorite Final Fantasy. I will never argue that. Like, I honestly think that Final Fantasy X may be one of the best turn-based RPGs that's ever been made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like this series is really what. Well, there were a few things, but like this is one of the series that really just got me into console gaming. Period.
Yeah?
Like I was
Because you
in-
played Super Nintendo, like some of those RPGs, but you didn't like. There's a gap where you like weren't playing super hard, right?
That gap for me is actually the N64 era.
Oh, okay.
I was playing a lot on the Nintendo, but like,
Okay.
I didn't really want a Nintendo early on because I had an Atari and that was fun, and I was playing a lot of games on PC, which I mean at that time was so like the graphics were better, and I was more interested in like adventure games and stuff. So that was King's Quest and that kind of stuff was really what I was playing.
Yeah.
And then went over to a friend's house and he was playing the original Final Fantasy, and I just thought that it looked like the best game ever.
The very original.
Yep, the very first one. So and I must have played that game a dozen times. I was
Wow, the very first one?
the first one.
Jeez.
I was so into that. So, yeah. So this series is one that I have a hard time begrudging anyone their choice of like a favorite entry, because I see that you can make an argument for
Even we're getting a lot of
most of them.
We're getting a lot of love for even 12 in here, and
12's great.
I think 12 is a wonderful game.
12's another one from like in my mind. 12 in the community reminds me of 8 in the sense that there was some like it's a love it or hate it kind of game.
Yeah, and it's one I definitely thought the story was crazy convoluted, and I didn't I didn't understand what the judges were doing, but the combat, just sort of that single player MMO type feel, and going on hunts and stuff like. And then just summoning and stuff, I thought it was really cool in that way.
The hunt stuff in that game is really cool, but when it comes down to like the exploration and I think in terms of like my favorite sense of like a journey in a Final Fantasy game is in 10. Like I think you have a lot of good marks of like from where you start to where you end up. A lot changes. You learn a lot about the characters, and some of those first scenes have a lot more significance when you find out where they're going. And stuff like that.
That's absolutely true, I think.
And it actually, I mean, I guess part of what was interesting about 10 to me is I think it was like thematically a little more complex than Final Fantasy had done in the past. You know, like I felt like previously they'd done a lot dealing with maybe a little more predictable kind of fantasy things of like, oh, I'm the princess and my mom is like the evil queen,
right,
and things like that, and the roguish, the roguish charmer, and things like that. So I think dealing with some of the weird like paternal stuff that's going on in 10 is interesting. The idea of this like world that's just like in this state of constant decay, I think is kind of interesting, and like just some novel concepts that they had going on there, I think.
It's there's some love just for the cast of 10 in general. I think a lot of that has to do with the voice acting was actually for its time like really solid, and there was a lot of it. And
well, it was the first time.
Well, not only was
I mean
it
for the
solid,
series, but I mean in general, in games in general, it was a
high production for that.
Someone asked, "What's our favorite heroes? Like our favorite like Final Fantasy like main characters are?"
Oh man, I kind of keep a running list in my head of like who, if I could make like a Final Fantasy all-star party, who that party would be. And it changes as with my mood, but generally I would put Auron from Final Fantasy X in my party every time.
Yeah, he's a great one.
I would put Kain from Final Fantasy IV in my party every time. Excuse me. I know I was kind of a sucker for Aeris.
Yeah.
I like to have Aeris around. But really what it boils down to for me is that like I kind of have to try to oh great, I don't even have any magic. Son of a gun.
I got to go with Sid from 4. I just think he's
yeah, he's
Really,
hilarious.
most
he's
Sids?
you can rely on him. I think Sids are pretty consistent, but
See, part of the difficulty for me is that if I could, I would just like do the whole cast from Final Fantasy VI all the
Yeah,
time. Like
yeah.
I just love. I think that cast is so well made.
Yeah.
And I like so, and even the fact that there are so many of them, you'd think that they would have a lot more duds than they do. And
Yeah.
they really don't.
it's just a combination of like some really distinguished personalities and like really awesome design. Like there's a few duds as far as the designs go, but overall, like all these guys look pretty cool. Like even just right now. Who's your favorite hero from the series, John?
It's tough. I'm kind of just hesitant to just go with Squall, just because 8 is my favorite, and Gunblades are kind of cool.
I think Squall's cool. He gets a
Yeah.
lot of crap, but I like him.
He's probably not the best written character. Probably doesn't have like great motivations.
It's a story about love for the most
Yeah,
part, which
yeah.
is fine. I also want to note the minimal like HUD like the in the game, just how clean it is. Like
yeah, it's nice.
I really appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, if I had to pick favorite character, like a favorite character from the whole series, I'd have to cheat and go with Edgar and Sabin from
Yeah,
Six.
they're
I mean,
great.
like that duo is just
They're definitely not nearly as interesting without one another.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone asks if we're excited for Final Fantasy X HD and 10-2 HD. Personally, I just played 10 just a couple years ago for a trip. I went to go
Oh, yeah,
see.
yeah.
I went to go
When I
check
first
out
met
Final
you.
Fantasy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were hanging out while we were playing some Final Fantasy X, which I loved, and I was prepping for a trip to Japan to visit Square Enix and check out 13 too. And while I haven't gotten around to that, I'm excited to play 10-2 in HD. I won't replay 10 because I just played it. But are you guys planning to replay 10 in HD?
Oh yeah, I've actually been. As soon as they announced it, I was pretty happy because I was thinking about doing a replay of it anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now I've just been holding off on it until that comes
that's
out.
perfect.
I was
So-
supposed to last year, and that's why I owed Dave $150.
Oh yeah, John Carson and my buddy Dave had a bet, which was how many? Like we bet $150 that you thought that you could beat Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9
And 10.
and 10
Yeah, 10
in a
was
month.
10 was in there. You guys keep on forgetting that 10 was in
Oh
there.
my god,
Yep.
man!
I got
And it-
halfway through 9.
And if people remember last year, it was actually last year's live stream. He was right at the end of 8.
Yep.
And what were you hitting your head against the wall with there?
Oh, I was on the final boss battle, and I lost, like, right as the clock ran out.
That
So
was brutal,
I
man.
went home, slept, and then beat it.
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
That's the tricky balance of having to beat Final Fantasy games quickly.
Yep.
Like,
I really slacked on 8. Like, I beat 7 in 4 days, and then started on 8, and then kind of just, like, let it go for a week and a half. And then the stream came up, did 24 hours there, finished it, and then started 9. I only made it halfway through 9.
okay.
So
Well, I think you did good, man.
Yeah.
But you did finish 9 eventually.
no, it's still about halfway
So
through
there.
on my Vita,
Chet
which
Manley.
it's over there, so I can keep it going.
It's hard to go back to
Yeah.
RPGs in particular. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
hard to
true.
go back to.
Chet Manley started asked about Final Fantasy soundtracks and which one's our favorite. I'm gonna go with 7, just overall. I think there's a lot that he said for like 6 and 4, and like there's lots of great ones, but 7 just really stuck with me. I think the battle music's great. There's just even just like songs, it's so moody, like Beneath the Rotting Pizza, like the one where you're in the slums on Midgar, and like I love that stuff.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one.
Sorry, that's awkward.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure it's in there right.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
it's kind of bent, so
Okay.
we're good.
I don't know.
While we're thinking, X19 Gaming asks if we read the community blogs much. I try to read as much as we can with blog herding and take a look, but are you asking for a particular reason why we read community blogs? Because if you have a suggestion or, if one stands out for sure, you can always tweet it out or send an email or something. We're always down for suggestions on good stuff to read, so... Do you have a favorite? Is it 6? I feel like you'd say 6 as far as favorite soundtracks
Well,
go.
I'm thinking about it. It's tough. Actually, I think 4 might beat it out.
4
for
is
me.
great. Like the Red Wings over Baron song.
Yeah, the
like,
Red Wing stuff. What really does it for me well, I really like the the field music in 4, like just the walking around music.
Yeah, that is really good.
But I don't know that beats the walking around music from 6, which is isn't that like Terra's theme?
yeah, Terra's theme is great.
So
But there's also like at the same time like I really like 7's overworld theme, you know, and it's like really simple and kind of like sort of
I don't know. Like it's really hard to pick favorites in any whenever you're talking Final Fantasy, and
I think especially soundtracks.
Yeah.
Because those, I think, we talk about story, we talk about battle mechanics, characters, like, those may be all over the place sometimes, but, like, the music is consistently amazing. Maybe, like, not so much after 10, I think, because I think that's when Uematsu dropped off. But anything before 10 and before is just, like, rock solid.
All
How's
right.
it going, Zach?
Pretty good. I'm trying to find some time to play some games tonight. Hopefully,
It's not interesting.
We're here to play games,
later
by the
night,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
but I've been running around making sure everything is wonderful with the chat, wonderful for everyone. So
All right. Well, I'll let you grab the lead on finding questions and stuff then, and let this laptop charge up here.
that works. All right.
Where are we at in the game right now? Like, what are they up to?
Sorry.
We're back here again.
Yeah. So this is a flashback to the Laguna stuff. We are actually at the part where the Laguna storyline and the Squall storyline are starting to converge. So at the end of the second disc, there's a fight against the sorceress Edea, and after that,
Is she who becomes Ultimisia? Like,
no,
they're different people. Okay.
So basically, at the end of disc 2, Rinoa passes out. So at this point, they're trying to. Oh, and then when that happens, Edea actually stops being the bad guy and kind of,
oh, okay.
Edea goes back to her normal self, which turns
Okay.
out, I guess spoiler. Do we care about spoilers?
I think it's sort of.
It's a pretty fair
if you
game.
can- Okay.
I mean, so
Spoiler warning for Final Fantasy VIII coming up. We've given you fair warning. It's happening.
anyway, so it turns out in all of this weird stuff that Edea was actually the matron of this orphanage where all of the main characters, like the Seed kids, grew up.
Okay.
And the only reason she was evil is because she was being possessed by Ultimisia, who who you were talking about.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
They do that. That's such a common thing in Final Fantasy, where the main antagonist ends up not being the main antagonist.
you've
and
got that
it's just the subject of a larger evil.
yeah, exactly. I remember the first time that happened. Actually, I was
it 4?
I was cheesed off. The first time that I experienced it was with Golbez in 4.
Oh, really?
Or Final Fantasy 2 on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Where Golbez is this totally awesome bad guy for most of the game, and then at the end it's just like, oh, by the way, the real bad guy is the essence of hatred, and he lives on the moon.
That's a good sentence, though. It makes for a good sentence, but as far as having to wander around the moon because I'm going to destroy evil,
Yeah.
well, that guy's in a hurry. Look at that guy. Okay, see ya.
So what's going on in this game is that they're basically taking unconscious Rinoa to try and figure out what's going on with her,
Okay.
and they're taking her to a country to this super xenophobic country called Esther,
Okay.
and that's where Laguna and his crew have been since the events that after the periodic flashbacks that people have been having.
Yeah.
To this timeline.
Okay.
Laguna has spent the intervening time as kind of like the president of
Okay.
Esther.
It's cool having the two timelines working side by side, or the two stories and then
Yeah,
converging.
yeah.
That's a really
It
cool
is.
kind of unique idea. Not a lot of games did that at that time.
Yeah.
We have a few
yeah.
questions.
Yeah, what's up?
There's a few people asking if you two have played Xenoblade Chronicles.
I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles yet.
That was that Phil Kohler did he play that for us?
Yeah, Phil
Okay.
reviewed it.
Okay, he liked it a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, I want to. What for me, what ended up happening is I put it off and then I couldn't find it, and now when it went back, when it went on sale again at $90, I'm like, nah, I'm not paying that for it. So
No.
I put a good 200 hours into my playthrough.
What was it about it that kept
the
you?
grinding is not. It doesn't feel like you're actually grinding.
Is the battle system just fun enough that
Yes.
it's just like
Yes.
it's like a Batman game, like that kind of combat where just every time there's an encounter, you're just like, yep, I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And then
yeah, I really want to play because it's that team that's doing that X game that they announced
Yeah.
for Wii U, right?
The Monolith Soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, definitely has a Xenosaga vibe to it.
Like, is Xenosaga have like the huge monsters in it too? Because I got like a real Monster Hunter vibe from the trailers I saw for X.
Xenosaga doesn't have the monsters, but it has the it has the big robots and stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool.
Definitely deals with that business. So,
And then there's a few people were asking if you two have played any MOBAs.
If we play MOBAs.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in MOBAs.
I've played them for like preview purposes and stuff. I don't pursue it in my free time. I've tried to sit down with like League of Legends. I played some Defense of the Ancients when it was still just a Warcraft 3 mod, and I was really interested. Like, my favorite thing about Warcraft 3, this is getting down to like the roots of MOBAs. Like, I loved the hero units. Like, I loved Warcraft. I've loved every single one, and I loved building up your army and then like wiping out the other side, and then you always had to like build it back up, and that was always frustrating. And the heroes helped you maintain progress across the entire campaign rather than always just losing it.
Yeah.
And so I love the idea of just having a mode that was just all focused on building up your heroes. But even by the time I joined up and tried Defense of the Ancients, it was just way too specific. Like, when you're trying to like learn the basics, you're like, that sounds fun, but then someone tells you can only play it this way. You have to do these things, X amount of things in X order, and if you don't do these things by these items at the right time, no amount of skill can save you from this. And it's that sort of barrier of entry for me that gets me from playing it in my free time. But I do like what I've checked out and playing it just for fun and checking out it at like conventions and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, part of it for me is like I'm actually not that big into competitive multiplayer in general, and MOBAs in particular are so hostile to people who don't know what they're doing.
I would agree with that.
It's a very dedicated community, but can also be a kind of toxic community for people who are just kind of like looking to get started.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree with that. And even people that are really into MOBAs agree with that. I don't hear anyone argue that. We have Jason Fitzer is like a huge MOBA guy. He's in our
he just
production.
walked in.
Yeah. He loves them. He's it's like it either goes one way or the other, it seems.
Yeah. It seems a lot of people are talking about the
Hey, Stacy.
community is the reason that a lot of people stay away from MOBAs.
And maybe that's what they want, but yeah, it's definitely the reason I'm not into it.
And then some people
Okay, it
want to
said
know
unlocked.
what are your front runners for a game of the year.
Mine are Last of Us and GTA 5.
it's BioShock and The Last of Us for me.
Yeah. Is that
And that's as of right now. I haven't played the new Zelda yet.
Oh yeah, that's not out. And it looks good.
I haven't played it yet because it's several weeks away from
Yes.
release. I mean,
you don't have to feel guilty about that one. There's a lot of games you have to feel guilty about not playing yet. Me too, but the ones that aren't out, not at all.
Yeah. So I think that one has a shot for me. I like Link to the Past is one
Okay.
of my favorite games. So
What would be cool is if everyone who's watching, like at this point, just type out what your current game of the year is, or what you think is like your strongest choice. I'm really curious just to see like how many BioShock Infinites, GTA 5s, and Last of Us do we get, and like on top of that, like how many weirder like offshoot ones. And if you haven't played them all, that's totally understandable. It's
Well, and I actually thought that Assassin's Creed 4 had a really good shot for me. And
Oh,
then,
really?
You know.
Would you end up giving that? It got like it's got a good
Oh yeah,
score.
yeah. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it got an 8.25, but
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, that's not. It didn't end up being Game of the Year material
Right.
for me. So
Looking like The Last of Us would be our top contender. Then
a lot of Last of Us.
GTA and Bioshock are in the middle, and then there's some like Brothers,
Brothers is great.
Tomb Raider,
Yeah, you can't forget about Tomb Raider. It was so early.
DMC,
DMC's wonderful. Dan would have been happy to hear
Saints
that.
Row, and oh wow, Papers, Please is a
Papers, Please is awesome. It's
that is a fun game.
yeah. It's such a unique experience. It's
yeah, I'm gonna be playing that sometime in the next week here. Actually,
yeah, it's great. Make sure you got a good mouse, because that's the weird thing is it's
Yeah.
all about how fast you can do that. And then if people are watching and haven't had maybe even just heard of Papers, Please, or haven't haven't heard of it or whatever, it's like $10 on Steam, I think, and it's. I don't know. I read one blog about it. Actually, it was a really good blog written by Anthony Birch, who's a writer at Gearbox, and he was just glowing about it. And I checked it out, and I didn't regret it at all. It's a hard sell because you're basically selling like a desk job where you have to check passports and cross-check info and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it ends up being like this weird sort of. It's actually fallen under like the sort of empathy game category where it like makes you think about people that have to immigrate to better their lives, or people that have to check these papers and that's their job and they have to make these hard moral decisions. But then on the top of it, it's just like that sort of like absolutely getting great at a job, and your life's character and the welfare of your family depends on that. And it's weird and super minimal graphics, but it's worth checking out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some people actually really liked Beyond
Two Souls.
Yeah,
Love, that's cool. I'm not done with it, but I'm playing co-op with a friend of mine, and I'm gonna probably do some of that later tonight. Doing the Aiden. I'm Jody. He's Aiden, and we're doing it where like I'm really like a by the books Jody, and he's a really crazy Aiden. So that's had some interesting results.
yeah. I wish that they would have done a little more with the ability to do that.
Like not just tag teaming it, maybe.
Yeah, because you can't. I know that the potential for griefing on this might be a problem, but
Right.
to actually let the other player wrest control from you rather than you having to cede it,
Yeah.
I think that might lead to some cool stuff, and just to have there be more things in the world that Aiden can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very specific.
Or Jody, even the game. I'm not the first person to say it, but there are times when it just feels like it's a dot hunt, right? When you're just going around trying to find where's the dot that tells me the thing I can do.
It's an old adventure game thing,
Yeah.
Find the shiny thing or whatever.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I ate too much pizza, by the way. I know everyone was wondering about that, but I didn't think I was, and then
You
I
got
did.
some room in your stomach still.
Yeah.
after that.
you've got a long way to go yet, Tim.
Yeah, sure do. Yeah, we got rid of the BioShock stuff. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Very cool.
Right away. And
When's our next giveaway?
I'm gonna be randomly doing the rest of the night. The 1 hour blocks were a little flustering, and
Okay.
yeah.
So it's just going to be random giveaways. So we're just going to have more game time, I think, more dedicated streams, and then giving out throughout. We still got a good chunk of stuff too. I see like the Link plushie. We got a big Cerulean shield.
Yeah.
Halo 4 action figure. Is that a My Little Pony still?
Yes.
Up there? We have
Yes.
plenty of shirts, like a Zelda shirt.
We need to find a brony out there.
There's this awesome.
I don't think we have a shortage of bronies in our community,
I know.
do we?
I don't think so. And there's this awesome signed Last of Us poster.
Yeah.
That's some art I never really saw, but it's like hand drawn. It's cool
Yeah.
looking.
And the question: what's your most and anticipated game in 2014? So, what are you looking forward to? next year, which has been announced already. So
Yeah, I mean that is a tricky question because there's so much that we don't know about it. I feel like
Right.
That. Yeah, I don't know. I think that gets to be challenging. For the stuff that we know about, I would say Dragon Age Inquisition.
Really?
For me,
Wow.
probably.
That's cool. Well, you got to see the game, right?
Yeah.
you're
I mean, I got to go out there and like write the story on it. So,
But you've gotten a better look at that game than most people, right? I mean, they haven't shown much as far as like live gameplay yet, have they? I know
No.
they've shown it for previews and stuff, so people have written about it, but I don't think they've released any actual footage or anything.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that sounds cool. That's a surprising one. I think for me, like my mind initially went to the Order 1886. I think that is like the most gorgeous. Like, because I was fortunate to see it in action as well, and it's just a gorgeous game. Like one of the first games I've seen where the things that Ready at Dawn is doing with like camera filters to try to create like a light bloom on a light source to make it look like it's got that filmic look, and the entire aspect ratio is sort of like beyond, so whether you're playing or watching like a brief cutscene, it has this consistent film inspired like aspect ratio, and it just feels and looks so authentic. And the way they have these huge contraptions to like scan in textiles, whether it's book pages or wallpaper or hemming on a dress, they have it from all these different lighting sources, and they have it so this texture is a texture that can be laid in the game, but it has actual texture to it, so the shadows and lighting play on it well, and it creates these stunning, you think it would be such a specific small little detail, but all the little things that they're doing combined together have made that game just look gorgeous. But I'm waiting to know more about they haven't talked too much about what you're doing besides shooting dudes with cool guns, and they haven't talked much about those werewolf things we've seen in the trailers, so there's still a lot more to learn.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
And then I've been in the beta for all the other Scrolls Online.
Okay.
And I'm actually really liking that right now.
Okay. I played a little bit of the beta during TGS, and
Yeah.
it's more of what you like about it, I think.
Have they
Yeah.
And it's more punishing.
Yeah.
Have they announced any Metal Gear for 2014? Is that a
I don't
2014
remember.
game
I
even?
thought it's supposed to come out
Yeah.
next year.
Oh, because that might beat out Dragon Age for me. Then.
I was gonna say that too.
But-
I'm excited for that. I mean, there was that weird. The last we heard of it was that weird quote that Kojima put out, where he's like, "Oh, Metal Gear's open world sucks compared to GTA 5's," but I don't think anyone expects a GTA 5 type of open world experience at all.
No,
He's gonna
yeah.
do his own thing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, what are other people's most anticipated games of
There's
2014?
been a Titanfall,
Oh, of
Dark
course.
Souls,
Yeah, Titanfall's huge.
Watch Dogs, and Destiny. There's a lot of big games, and we have Killer Instinct.
Okay. Awesome.
Lords
Wait,
of
Killer
Shadow.
Instinct's 2013.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
it
launch
is.
title, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it is a launch title. So, Smash Brothers.
let's ask this: what are people going with as far as PS4 or Xbox One,
Yeah.
or neither or both are also options
Yeah.
there? Which I think it's a more interesting question because they're launching so close together. So I think there's a lot of people that are definitely making that decision this year. I remember this area. I remember thinking it was pretty.
Right away, a lot of PS4s. But there's Xbox Ones. Neither.
Some neithers.
Yeah.
Now, for people who are saying neither, are you going to wait, or are you just like, I'm done updating to the next generation?
I mean, one of the weird things about this next gen transition is that, I mean, especially with games like Watch Dogs getting pushed out and stuff like that, a lot of what was next gen exclusive just isn't anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got there are some,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. It seems like more than last generation, it's easier to justify waiting a little while because most of what people are looking forward to playing, you can still play.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I honestly, like, when I get my PS4, I'm going to be excited because it's a new piece of technology, but
Yeah.
I'm excited for the indie games that I'll be able to play on it, and the compatibility with like my Vita and stuff. But as far as big games, I'm excited to play the cross-gen games like Assassin's Creed on that. But beyond that, there's no real big PS4 games. I mean,
Yeah.
Dead Rising 3 makes me want to get an Xbox One, but
That I actually have been able to have hands-on with that, but it was a short amount of time. But what I played, it is a fun game.
yeah, I've played it too. I played it at Gamescom, and it was like, there was a thing like going into it. Everyone was like, "Oh, it looks like it's too serious, this and that." And it's just as goofy as hell as you could possibly want. Like one of my favorites is you combine engines with boxing gloves and make like these piston boxing gloves, and you can do like shoryukens and stuff. And he yells shoryuken and everything. And just the other favorite thing is you take a steamroller. You've probably seen this. Combine it with a motorcycle and just run full bore into like. There's so many zombies that are on screen, and it's just the entire screen just is basically red because it's just dense with zombie blood, and that's incredible. Oh, and you can combine weapons on the fly. You just be anywhere and make a weapon. You can just take two cars, park them next to each other, and combine them, like I mentioned with that roller hog thing. Dead Rising 3, even if you haven't played the previous ones, like, this one even more than the others, especially because there's no time limit. I think that was one of the most divisive elements from the first two.
Yep.
Is totally worth like being excited about.
There's something I wanted to ask the community about in terms of Final Fantasy VIII for those who've played it. So there's a weird theory out there that I was wondering what other folks thought about. Have you heard? You've heard of this?
Yes, I've heard that theory.
I just heard about. Okay, so there's a theory about Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh yeah, this
that I had not heard until I started this playthrough and started doing a little bit of research into it again. That Squall, like at the end of disc 1, Squall is injured.
he just gets his butt kicked, right?
Yeah. I mean, he gets impaled by Idea's like ice lances.
Yeah, I remember that.
In a wound that looks very serious.
Yeah,
and
and
then,
when a Final Fantasy game like focuses on a wound like that, it usually is, they get slashed up all the time, but Sephiroth put his sword through areas and she died.
Exactly. So the idea behind the theory is that even though at the beginning of disc 2, Squall wakes up and is like, oh, well, I guess I'm fine. He wakes up in prison and was, like healed.
Yeah.
The theory goes that he was actually killed, and that the rest of the game is this sort of like death dream of Squall's sort of like, unfulfilled life wishes, goals, or whatever coming through, where he finally like after all that happens, he gets to be the guy who's in charge of the garden, and he gets to call the shots.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he finds someone, he finds a girl who is, like a woman that is drawn to his sort of bizarre, standoffish
Seems
style.
unlikely, yeah.
Who, by the way, and this is something that I thought was interesting about, is that Rinoa in the first disc of the game is just totally into Cypher. She doesn't
really?
want Squall.
Yeah.
For that whole first disc, she is she wants Cypher. So I think it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting idea. Ultimately, I don't think I buy it.
But I love that those theories exist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Mass Effect 3 stuff. It's like they're, we were talking about that a little bit the other day. Like the added on, the altered ending or add-on, totally killed those theories. But it's so fun that people get so into it that they come up with that stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I don't know. Is there anyone in chat that
There's
knows
a few
anything
people
about this?
who have heard that theory, and they think it's a better ending to the
Oh,
game.
yeah?
Yeah, but you aren't alone who
I'm distracted by Dead Space 3.
has thought about that theory.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. It's I guess for me, it rings in the same way that the indoctrination theory did for Mass Effect, in that I guess it's possible, and I guess there's evidence out there to support it, but it's it makes the story actually a lot worse because there's just
There's some big decisions that happen after that point, and it's the idea that they're all moot, I think, kind of.
Yeah, well, and the fact that as a player, you're just kind of getting screwed over because the resolution you think you're getting, you're just not. You're not getting.
Right.
You know. And I guess I'd say if you were going to do that with a game, if you were going to make a point like, surprise, the main character died at this point, you would, like, for full narrative effect, like, you would make that a big reveal. Like, that would be a holy crap moment, not something that, like, as a creator, you would want to bury in, like, a bunch of hidden evidence.
Especially because I think the rest of the series isn't like that. You know, they're not that, I don't know, sort of vague and subtle and cryptic and stuff, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here right now.
I don't know, that cool lion dude who basically reminds me of, like, Red 13 is hanging out there, so.
He's a Moomba.
Right. What did you think of the card metagame in this?
Triple Triad? We
Yeah.
were talking about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I had lots of fun with that.
I thought it was like one of the best like mini games,
Yeah.
or side games that I've played. In
Yeah, I went
any
out of my
RPG.
way to get every single card.
me
Oh
too.
yeah. I mean, here I can even show you guys what I've been. I mean,
You need to have a
I
strategy
mean,
guide.
P.S. I mean, I've left this game sitting a little, but for the most part, I'm at like nearly 40 hours into this game, and only partway into disc 3 because I spent so much time playing cards.
Trying to
and,
find all those cards. Yeah.
You know.
And then do those end up being your unique junctions?
No, you basically can transmute cards
Yeah.
into Magic.
Oh, okay. And you get some strong stuff that way.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were talking with Quake earlier.
Yeah.
If there are some people in the garden very early in the game that have a card that you can then,
Yeah.
get a bunch of and then refine Quake
Yeah.
out of it a little later. Okay, so I'm supposed to go to this Lunar Gate. I don't remember where that is. I don't think this is going to tell me. Oh, so it will.
I know at
Way down south. All right.
7 o'clock, I know Kim is up next, and
Some more
Then-
RPG action, I think,
Yep.
we're going on with
Yep.
Earthbound.
and then from, I think, 9 to 1, we will start to take requests on what you guys want us to play and who you want to play those games.
Are people sick of Final Fantasy VIII already?
No,
I don't think
not
so.
really. I mean, let's see.
I should have planned a little better. This isn't the most exciting part of the game.
I've saw some feedback that people were happy with the slower pace. Maybe people were overstimulated from Mike Tyson. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it is pretty awesome watching Dan get the crap kicked out
Yeah.
of him, too.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'll
he
make
was
su-
just like absolutely silent the entire time too, wasn't he? Just trying
Yeah,
to
oh
focus.
yeah.
That's funny.
And I'll make sure to do my best to push for a Mario Party because I would like to actually play with the guys and have a frustrating 30 minutes of Mario Party.
All right.
I'd let you take my seat.
Nope, you'll be at it too.
Oh god.
I'll have to force you.
I won't.
That game's so frustrating because I always start
That's
like
the
doing
point.
okay and then I just get screwed at the end.
That game is just garbage.
It ain't great. It ain't
Actually,
great.
Yes. What about a Worms?
Worms is fun. That was
I
that was
would-
a fun replay we did that one time.
Worm, yeah, that was just like a replay. What that
That
was,
was just a second segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first like battle type second segment, which wasn't
man. Yeah, that was a lot of
the
fun.
showdown.
Yeah.
Which-
Worms is such an odd.
You need to do more of those, I think. Of like
Yeah?
competitive second segments
Okay.
off of replays.
Would people even like it if we just like played Worms again sometime? I mean, because I think we're always hesitant to retread any ground, but
like a different version?
yeah, we could just do a different version of
Yeah.
it. We did play like the absolute original, kind of. I don't know. I mean, eventually, the Xbox 360 one will be last gen, and that was a good version of that
What am
game.
I supposed to do? They said to meet
Tickle
at
the foot.
Said to meet at the Lunar Gate. I mean,
but-
I don't need this.
What would the chat like us to play? Since I know you've been requesting stuff all day, but so I can get an idea of what to look for. Yeah.
Am I just missing
We have
something?
a Bomberman, a Towerfall,
Towerfall would be good.
a Worms.
I think we should make Towerfall happen.
We need to, yeah. I mean, a Dark Souls and GoldenEye.
If I play Dark Souls, I want my my cousin Ryan to help me. He's played a lot of this game, and he'd be my ringer. So I would definitely play some Dark Souls.
You know, a GTA Online. Ooh.
GTA Online would be good too.
Whoever said Ogre Battle 64, I love you. I love that game. So
I know Adam was like our resident like ogre battle dude. I don't.
that's the reason I loved Adam.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just it's a tactics game.
he's
correct?
yeah, and
Okay.
he's the only one who I remember that played Tabula Rasa,
Oh,
which
really?
was a
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
liked
FPS.
Tabula Rasa, yeah.
MMO, and I played that game start to
You wanna sit for a bit?
start to finish.
Good. Yeah. I need to get some more water. I'm gonna take out with Andy McNamara here.
Yeah.
We're getting
When I got here, I didn't want to sit on this couch, and they made me watch Dan. Which was like, I was like, I wanted to hang out with Joe.
Well, hey,
So I'm getting my way now.
you're here. Turns out though, I don't know. I don't know that I want to keep going on Final Fantasy VIII.
Why is that?
It's just not super exciting.
You know, I want to tell you something else. Sitting across the room, it's ugly.
Yeah,
You look like a giant pixel turd.
It doesn't hold up super well. I want to see what else I have on here.
Because I remember this game looking good. This does not look good.
Yeah, I want. Okay, we'll see. I want to see what else I have on this PS3.
All right, we're gonna switch off of Final Fantasy. Alright.
Is that going to screw up the stream at all? Is that still going to keep going? Okay,
No,
good.
they'll see
Oh yeah, that's
whatever's
fine.
in the screen. Yeah.
See what I've got on here right
And
now.
where are we at?
There we go.
Donations wise.
I'm going to play some of this. We can get you in on this too then.
What did I do to deserve this?
You decided to make a rare occurrence, and yeah, everyone's excited for Aiden to be here. Like, so.
Ah,
right.
the old GGPO.
Oh, and there's a few people earlier asking if you're gonna bring your podcast back.
Oh,
Gorilla.
you know,
Gamer Gorilla?
I'm so bad about keeping up on those things. I think about it sometimes. So let's put it that way. That way I don't answer the question, but I kind of answer a question.
All right, we have to get you in.
I hit start.
Okay,
I know how
good.
it works.
Okay.
I was just waiting for you to get to the screen.
This is wonderful.
There we go.
All right.
I remember that when we defeated him. That was really great. You know, we used to be before we were a republic. I mean, things
Yeah,
were bad,
yeah.
but now
See, I don't know why game storytelling can't just be this anymore. I don't know why we have to have,
just it's just not the same anymore. Sorry.
That's all right. Whoa.
We were really fast there for a second.
Okay.
I got to figure out my buttons. That one's attack.
All right. All right.
Jeez.
Time to grab some treasure.
It seems like it'd be very hard to hold a sword backwards like that.
Yeah, you think about that. I think about that sometimes when in like Star Wars, how like people are holding lightsabers in super stylish ways, and it's like, I just think that'd be
Dangerous.
and ineffective.
And I mean, like, have you seen the damage that a lightsaber can do?
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way about dual wielding in general. I think is really just for show.
Yeah.
Like you look way awesome with two swords.
Well, you don't look you look amazingly awesome.
Okay.
Like, I mean, beyond. I mean, maybe there's an intimidation factor,
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I'm just saying that like when it comes down, you're gonna only like unless you're swinging with two swords simultaneously, you're only going to do so much damage.
But what you can say is that it's still a better weapon than perhaps the worst weapon of all time, which is that boomerang from Mad Max that little kid has.
Oh yeah, boomerangs are
Well,
awful.
A boomerang with blades on it. I mean, it's really one of the worst ideas ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dual wielding's safer than that.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do here? Do we?
Enter your name.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know. I just kind of wondered why Link leaned on the boomerang so heavily. You'd think he'd, he knows how to use better weapons.
Well, I know it doesn't. Everybody pretty much just use it to pick up coins you can't reach.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. It isn't really. I mean, it's not an offensive thing.
Or like, hey, light these 3 torches at the same time by running the boomerang through this one, and this one.
Yeah. Okay. Point taken.
I mean, you don't really fight with it, but you can. I got to tell you, I think I've only hit X so far.
Yeah. I hit square a couple times and shot some arrows. That seems all right.
I did a funny kick with that square. I quit with my investigation. Is there a block button? I have not. It's been a long time. These shoulder buttons do nothing. I mean, it's old. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Nothing.
Ooh,
Oh, did you see that?
ground treasure.
I did backflips.
Wow.
Backflips.
Oh, you got bigger hops than I do. All right, I remember talking to Miller about this on a replay too, but owl bears just seem like the dumbest fantasy creature out there.
Why are you hating on owlbears?
Like there are way cooler things that you can mix together that instead of owl bears.
Have
right?
you ever seen an angry owl before? Like, really, not one just sitting around and hooing.
I guess I can't say I have. I have not been attacked by an owl.
I've seen an angry. There was a time in just Minnesota stories or whatever. So I'm driving in a snowing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so and it's one of those things you can barely see. Mm-hmm. Coming out of my neighborhood in like high school, and in the middle of the road, I see this bunny run out, and then this owl descends and picks up this bunny.
Whoa.
And it just barely gets over the top of the windshield of the car. And you could see the terror in the bunny and just how badass that owl was with this bunny in its talons. It's pretty amazing. So ever since then, I got some mad props for the owl.
Okay.
And their head can do that, whatever their head does.
All right. Well, I don't mean to disrespect owls.
Why do you hate owls?
Actually,
I'm just trying to annoy you
owls
now.
kind of creep me out after Twin Peaks.
I wasn't paying attention. I think I died.
You die. Yep.
Oh, whoa.
You
Whoa.
switch characters accidentally.
That's
so
all right.
You're a way cooler looking fighter than I am.
I did let these things run into me multiple times without really paying attention. Once again, my strategy of just hitting X and
Hey, that's why we're playing this instead of Final
Is
Fantasy.
it?
You don't need to pay attention.
Sometimes I die. I have to. Absolutely. Come on.
But I really wanted to comment about how awful 8 looked. I'm really blown away. I mean, I think this game might look better than 8 did.
I mean, there's just a certain kind of. Yeah, we've talked about this kind of thing in the apps a lot, but I mean, like there's a certain era and style of game
That just do not age well.
That just doesn't age well, and I think 3D RPGs do not age very well.
I would agree with that.
Well, from that era. I mean, imagine at some point. I mean, of course I could be wrong. But it seems like the new games look good enough that it seems like they'll hold on for a while. Don't you think?
I mean, if you look at a 2D RPG on the PS1 and 2 versus 3D,
Yeah, they look better.
the 2D ones still look and play very well.
Yeah.
And I mean, 3D ones are pixelated,
But
block models. So
my point would be that perhaps it's just because that's that's like the early days of 3D, and in the early days of just video cards in general, right?
Yeah.
So
when
now
you're dealing with resolution that it's just it looks super blocky.
Yeah. So now, I mean, now that the computing power is there, it seems like they'll last longer.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I would think it's just that one era that's just awful.
Yeah, it's rough.
I mean, you almost look at like ASCII games have held up better than.
Yeah. Level 13, all right.
I'm almost dead again. Oh, that's health. That's good. So, Joe, what'd you play this morning at 9 o'clock when you got here?
Jeff Cork and I we're playing Dead Space 3 co-op all day.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am.
What do we do?
I think we'll just do this. Like I loved the original 2 Dead Space game. Well, the original Dead Space in particular, and I liked Dead Space 2.
Yeah. Was acceptable.
But it seems like they are more and more like losing that. Oh, there we go. It seems like they're losing that horror element in 3 is just completely gone now. Like
Completely gone.
Yeah, like just the tension of, walking into a place and wondering what happened there and things like that. It just seems like it's more or less gone in favor of like you just walk into a room and wait for the necromorphs to start piling in through the vents.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit, I wanted to play it. I was psyched. I have a copy that's like right on top of Xbox to remind me to play it. And I just go, nope. I played for like 3 hours and I got bored. So is there a hump that you can get through that like I need to get through that would make me more thrilled by it?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, like Jeff and I played up through, like they're just like I had Franklin here, so they're distractions. We didn't get as far as we could have in that time frame. But even with that being said, like we got up to like chapter 7, I think, out of 19. And I don't know that I'm going to pick it up again after today. I don't know that I'm compelled to keep going. So
that's not a good review, Joe Juba.
No, well, I mean, maybe I will just in case there's ever another Dead Space game.
Yeah, but I mean, the story doesn't make sense now. It's like if you miss. That's the thing to me too. Is that I think they kind of ruined the story for me a little. I mean, like it just got so weird that like now I just don't care anymore. I mean, they'd be like, it's a girl living in a robot from the planet Mars. I'd be like, oh, whatever.
Oh no, that's Bionic Commando.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they just kind of lost my interest in the story.
What about you? What are you playing?
I am trying to, like, what I would be home right now playing is, even though I'm not enjoying it, I'm sitting here poo-pooing on games. I'm trying to enjoy Beyond Two Souls.
Okay. I finished that one.
Yeah.
I'm having that same issue of, like, it has spurts of, like, this is a good game, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know if I'll continue to play.
Yeah, it seems like it has even less gameplay elements though than Heavy Rain did, which is unfortunate. Like whenever I'm Aiden, Aiden is just like, there are 4 things in this room I can manipulate. I need to manipulate those 4 things, and then that sets off the trigger that starts the next thing that moves the story forward. And it's like, I feel really errand boyish, and boy do I hate being an errand boy in games. And it seems to be set up to be. I'm just going through motions, and they're not like clever, like Stanley Parable or anything like that, or interesting like Gone Home, which is just an interactive story as well. Mm-hmm. It's just like,
Yeah, I was talking to Bertz about this a little bit the other day because like as much as I enjoy, like I really enjoyed Indigo Prophecy for most of the game, and I really enjoyed Heavy Rain. And for all of the things that, like, I think Quantic Dream and David Cage do right in those games, the big thing that stands out to me is, like, those are things that are unique to being a game. Like they are, they sort of move forward the idea of video game storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. In a time that it wasn't moved forward.
Well, yeah, and doing something that is, like, that showcases what this particular medium can do that, like movies can.
Yes.
And I don't think Beyond does that. Beyond feels like a video game that's trying to be a movie.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, like, I mean, that's one of the things I really, and I should point that out, I really enjoyed Heavy Rain. I'm actually someone who thought Heavy Rain was a neat, fun game and, like, interesting. And I thought that even the things it did with the controller of just like making me do various things, I thought was fairly interesting in that QuickTime kind
Yep.
of sense, right? I mean,
Well, and you had so many more like conversation options in Heavy Rain.
oh yeah. Oh, I mean, right now, I mean, a lot of it's just. They have me opening doors is what they consider a big part of the interactivity of what I'm doing. Like, you know what? If opening doors is what you consider to be part of my interactive like journey, boy, you are boring me. All right, I'm hoping it gets better. I mean, obviously, I think Paige did a great job.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
yeah.
in the game thus far.
Yeah,
Some
I
of the
totally
story
agree
stuff.
with Matt. Matt's review sort of pointed out that Ellen Page isn't afraid to underplay that part a little bit. You know, like to not just go over the top with it. And I think that does well for her.
It does go very well. There's parts of it though, and this is, you know, I get made fun of in the office. You'll learn something about me here in this show. Is that I kind of hate movies, and I know everyone says, "Who in the world hates movies?" Me. I mean, I like the best. Like when there's great movies, I love great movies. You know, like I love, you know, the original Star Wars, Godfather, and like, you know, Dog Day Afternoon. I've loved Gravity this year. I thought it was a great movie, but there's so many movies I see that I hate. Like I hate movies. I hate them so much. They're so common denominator. They talk down to the audience, I think, in a lot of ways, and like they're just not very good. And some of the dialogue in this is so bad. It's just so like what I hate about movies too is that like you'll see like a building blowing up, and the conversation will be, "Hey Joe, is that a building blowing up? I think that's a building blowing." You know what I mean? And I hate like I'm not a moron. And so, I really get that sense from a lot of the stuff in Beyond that made me kind of just annoyed by just treating us like we're morons. I mean, who buys? I mean, really, seriously, someone who's going to be interested in Beyond Two Souls, you know what I mean? Like, can't figure out like what's going on in the game. It just seems like it could have been more intelligent, and I think would have been more interesting, right?
Yeah. I can see that.
So
There's a lot of people who actually
But
agree with you, Andy.
I love when people agree with me.
You're not the only one. And an
Yeah.
Extra Life update. Extra Life as a whole is almost at 3 million.
Oh, wow,
very
that's
nice.
Compared to
awesome.
last year, which they ended up at 2.2 million. And
Can you tell us what Game
Game
Informer's
Informer
at?
is at $11,790. We
Oh,
are
wow.
Almost at the 12 grand mark, and making our way to 15,000.
That's excellent.
Yeah. I'll continue to donate to help these kids at Gillette. You guys are wonderful right now. So
Yeah, if you think Beyond Two Souls was dumb, donate, save kids, right?
yep.
That's the idea.
Agreeing with Andy McNamara means you're saving children.
Exactly. That's the way I like to look at it.
Yeah. So we've been complaining about Beyond, complaining a little bit about Dead Space. What have
Yes.
you been playing? I mean, you mentioned Stanley Parable. What have you been playing lately that you've been really enjoying?
I was playing a game I'm not supposed to comment about, but I think you could figure it out. It's on the 3DS, and it's coming out soon, but I can't say what it is. But I've been playing that.
Okay.
But I mean, like, you're gonna be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I think
most people can figure it out.
Okay. It's Mario Party.
that Mario Party.
I'm dying again because I'm dumb.
3DS with a local split screen.
Yeah, and so this game that I can't say,
You're really digging? That's good.
I have been ignoring a lot of my normal responsibilities in life and in work to play said game.
Yeah. I've also really been looking forward to Mario Party.
And I'm excited to play Batman. Truthfully, that's what it is. Is Beyond Two Souls is kind of, it's the wall between me and Batman. And I know Batman's had some some people kind of poo-pooing it left and right. I mean, I know I sound like a child when I do that. I'm trying to be good for the stream here. I do normally swear like a sailor. But Ben says he's enjoying it here. He's playing it here at the stream. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm gonna like it. I mean, I like the Batman games. I like just kicking butt, with the Rocksteady kind of thing. So when people, a lot of the reviews I've read have said, it's kind of, there's definitely that kind of more of the same. And sometimes I'm someone who's very happy with more of the same. Sometimes people change things for no reason.
Yeah,
And some
well,
things, you gotta innovate,
And you
but-
mentioned Rocksteady, and I know you know this, but just to clarify for everyone else out there, that like this actually isn't the Rocksteady.
Well, it's
team.
not the Rocksteady team. It's Montreal, Warner Brothers. But they did take. I mean, the combat system. I mean, they went and got it.
Yeah.
Rocksteady.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean,
I
like
mean,
they
it's-
didn't write that code. I mean, they refined it. Certainly, they were trying to add things to it and,
Yeah.
and expand on it. But
And if I'm not mistaken, one of the like key creative people behind the new Batman game was also behind like Prototype and,
and Hulk. Yeah,
and
Eric
Hulk.
Holmes.
Yeah, Eric Holmes. That's right.
yeah.
So
yeah.
those games are awesome.
I think it's.
Here's an interesting question. Duck Muffin was
I always. He has the best questions.
wondering if a Rocksteady would work on a Batman Beyond game.
Okay.
I like that universe. I think it would be interesting, but
I mean, part of what's interesting about Rocksteady's thing though is that they have their own Batman universe,
okay.
right? Like I
Yeah.
mean, like they have. It's sort of the Arkham universe that they're able to draw from all kinds of different like Batman storylines and stuff, and sort of synthesize their own version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked the original stuff they've done so far. And I mean, the thing is, too, I mean, these games have been huge, giant successes. I mean, you can go get some pretty good writers and artists to come work on a game like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, to Warner Brothers, it's a game that makes a lot of money. And I mean, I'm not trying to just turn it into some kind of, sound like some marketing DB. But, I mean, but games that make a lot of money get more money to make the next one, right? I mean, that's how, Grand Theft Auto 5 is like just this ridiculous technological feat, right? Is because all the other ones have made so much money, you can then spend, whatever they spend, and I don't know, but, let's say, $200 million on making that game because they know they're going to get it back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I personally am not interested in seeing them do something else. I'm interested in them continuing to expand and learn and get better at building, Batman games.
So
Yeah.
if they did their own take on the Bruce Wayne retires and takes on a protege.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think it's just like Frank Miller did a number of like where he just redid like people's kind of origins. You know what I mean? Kind of some of them you knew the way they went with like Daredevil. You knew what was going to happen, right? Just like they just redid a new Spider-Man movie that like we all know how Spider-Man starts. But it's interesting to see how the people's takes on how those things happen, and I would say I bet they can come up with something pretty good.
And they might even be. I mean, the visuals might even be similar to Batman Beyond if that were to even happen.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. That's the thing is, that's the interesting and fun thing about the launch of Next Generation, or New Generation, or whatever you want to call it. We were joking about the other day. Pretty soon we're gonna be able to call it the current generation. I mean, obviously it's not out yet, but Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are coming out in the next 3 weeks, right? At least they'll all be out, and less than that. And I thought I was sorry, Joe. I'm
That's all right.
Yeah, I would say within the first 6 months, don't judge the games and consoles harshly. It's the transition period, but expect within a year to see the developers take advantage of the systems.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the second generation when they finally really get how things in order. Well, if they just made these games work on a system that they didn't get final hardware till a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a programmer, I can tell you the difficulty it is, like working with.
A moving target.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I actually applaud developers for putting games on all the 4 systems at the same time,
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
and that's a lot of work. But once they're able to focus on next gen, you will see.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll.
take a game like what was one of the first. I don't know why everyone. It seems like the game Gun is only remembered because it was a cross generation game.
Oh,
at the,
yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
like if you look at something like Gun and then look at something like like the new Halo game. Those
Oh,
are,
yeah,
like
yeah,
those are
yeah,
both
yeah,
Xbox
too, yeah,
360 games, but you know
significantly different.
You
yeah.
see what time allows people
Yeah.
to do with that kind of thing.
Well,
So
but I think to your point, to both your points, let's say though, one of the reasons that I think is pretty impressive. I mean, like, Assassin's Creed runs really well. You know what I mean? Like the game certainly. What new next generation things are kind of built into it? Right now it's just graphics, right? And ease of just the technology running better, right? There's no frame rate drop, things like that, which is, I think, a good start, right? I mean, there's been plenty of system launches where they don't, even the games that are supposed to look good and run well, have frame rate problems and things like that. And so you can see that the technology moving forward certainly is helping that.
yeah,
and I think a lot of people will hate me for this comment, but cloud computing, even though it isn't really explained well enough, it is a big deal for next gen.
Oh yeah,
It, in a nutshell, it adds processing power to the consoles over the network to help the game run better. And it's hard to explain, but
well, and that's something
Yeah.
that people are really just going to have to see the results
Yeah.
about, because like at this point, the power of the cloud has
Yeah.
just become kind of a joke.
it has been kind of a joke. But the other thing too, the only thing that worries me about that to some degree is obviously. It's going to do good things. Obviously, we don't want to stream all the computing through it because it can, there's all kinds of lag issues and online stuff. But I always worry about like what will that mean to the games 15 years from now when we're doing one of these live streams and we want to play an old game? Are the cloud parts in place? Are they still working? With the way they shut down like multiplayer games, like 2-3 years in, and like those servers are gone until the community kind of saves them and saves those games.
Yeah.
I hope that we don't see cloud computing continue the trend that I am definitely against, which is that games are becoming not their own product and are a product of someone else controlling whether it works or not.
Yeah.
And I hate being I'm not against digital product. I'm just saying I hate being considered a licensor of a game and not an owner of a game, because it's fun to go back and play these games. Like
Well,
the
and
games
that-
Jack's going to play tonight are like crazy, weird things in time that are cool to go see, right?
Yeah, there's no way in 20 years, if it's all digital, or on server-side publisher controlled, that
You can't be guaranteed that it's all going to be there, right?
Right,
And,
right.
and
Yeah.
that's what's scary. But once again, let's not be doom and gloomy. We're like the worst
That's
at
all right.
this ever. Not just the game,
'cause-
by the way.
yeah.
yeah,
because I work with the cloud more for statistical computing, and like running a data model on your own system takes like an hour. But if you use the cloud, it drops it down to 5 minutes. And so computing wise, you could see the difference, but I am really interested to see how it translates to video games.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take some. This can take some smart people.
yeah. I'm not going to do that.
It'll be interesting to see how people like really expand on the stuff. As I kind of alluded to in a letter from the editor 2 months ago, or maybe a month ago, we have some games coming to the cover shortly that I'm really excited about seeing them use next generation in interesting ways to change what you would expect out of a game. And even some of the demos I've seen, and I've gone like, okay, this is one of those fake demos you show me and it doesn't work. How do you do this part? How do you do this part? And they're actually bringing me back answers that are like, oh my gosh, that's pretty amazing. A way to, create and expand games. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't be too specific here, but I think even early on, we're going to see in the next 6 months, we're going to see some really interesting uses of cloud computing, next generation processing,
Things that
and
are-
hard drives and things like that that are gonna make things better.
Because I mean, things that are.
I don't even know if I'm hitting that thing.
The kind of next gen that people don't necessarily know they want.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
Or that you would even imagine. You kind of like the launches in. You're like, oh, it's gonna be like those old games, but look better. Right? Herpaderp. But there is definitely more to it that's coming that I think will be very interesting. And I'm not trying to overhype or anything like that. But I sat in meetings and went, shoot balls. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Shoot balls.
Sorry, Joe. I'm trying to be good here. And you're making me play this Dungeons and Dragons game.
I knew you were destined to be a wizard.
Yeah, Tim somehow got away just in time. I was ready to sit down and make fun of Final Fantasy and make people who like Final Fantasy angry.
Oh no, we already had our big Final Fantasy love fest.
Yeah, yeah, you missed it. And they, I love your quotes, Andy. Like, the shoot balls and poo poo. You're getting a lot of love.
Andy doesn't normally say shoot balls. He
Yeah,
does. He does
most of
say
the people in the
poo-poo.
office, yes. I tend to. Whenever I walk into the office and start screaming, they go, "I'm on the phone."
All right, I don't think we can open that.
Why not? I can hit it.
I mean, yeah, keep trying. It's fun.
Let's try circle. How about this?
Right. Maybe I should give
All right.
something away towards the end of your.
Yes, make
Yeah,
people
I mean,
entertained.
we are coming up to 10 minutes left here.
Yeah,
So,
so I'm looking at the table, seeing what I can mix together. What would you like me to do?
Well, the shield, don't give that away. I'm just kidding. That thing's pretty cool. I don't know.
give
How
away
about-
one of those stuffed toys.
Yeah, give away the stuffed Link. Isn't that a stuffed Link, or am I crazy? Yeah, it is. All right, I'm in for that. Can I win? No, wait, I can't.
I don't know if you can win any.
That's not very good.
All right, so I will be
That'd be a
giving
jerk
away
move.
a.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. I
Zel-
win. Thanks a lot. It's a good thing I don't run the lottery.
a Zelda shirt, which is an extra large, a Link plushie, and a Zelda keychain for one lucky winner. No, Jason. And this.
We'll make sure we send it to
Yes, we will send this all to you. So you get a T-shirt, which is an extra large. You get a plushie, and you get a keychain.
you. Don't rock in front of the screen. We might die.
And
I feel like we should have put in a Konami code or something like
I already
that to have
know
endless lives like we
who
do.
has won
Yeah.
before,
Lets you play
so
forever.
Yep.
you
just
aren't
gotta keep
able
going.
to trick me with your.
I don't want to know how many times I've died.
color
versus how many
changing.
times you've died.
Might be pretty similar.
Maybe I'm just not paying attention to your deaths.
Yeah, I
You know
mean, I'm
what?
dying too. I'm just not switching
Let's
classes.
see. Who gets the Zelda swag?
Make someone answer a question,
Oh,
or
I like that. First correct answer to a question.
it's tough because the lag.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Well, then we'll just ask the question really slowly. Oh, fair schmear. How about this? Whoever makes the biggest donation in the next 15 minutes, because doesn't it do a timestamp on the site? See, I'm just making money for the kids. That's what I do.
All right, so Actually, that's a good idea. You have. Well, the site is actually slow right now, so that
Oh, it's a bad idea.
is not a. That's not the best idea, but that'll happen later on tonight, I think.
All
because,
right.
that's a great idea, but this one will just be a random giveaway. The rest will probably be questions, donations, and a mix of randomness. But
Well, let's just come up with a question anyway,
Oh,
because
okay.
we need something to talk about in
Yeah.
this show.
all right.
Yeah, all right.
So let's see. What would be a question that would be? How about? I wish Miller was here. We could ask like, what is on the first Fiend Folio?
A D&D question.
Come on, we're playing D&D.
All right. This is going
Monster
to-
Manual. Fiend Folio, Monster Manual. Monster Manual.
Monster Manual.
Monster Manual.
Maybe they were called Fiend Folios at some point.
Yeah, I'm just picking
Uh,
randomly.
what does a Vorpal sword do? Or have a random chance to.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
They
Does any... Yeah, I mean, that,
really want
Not-
this Zelda stuff.
that's not prize related, but does anyone know what a Vorpal sword does? Like, do we have any... Like, does anyone in the community know it? Because I think I do. But,
I think I do too. I mean, I can tell you what I think the answer is.
okay.
Do you want to know now before we give them a chance to answer?
Oh no, I want to see if there's anyone in the chat that knows what
One
the
second.
Vorpal weapon quality does.
Everyone is still like
They're still trying to win stuff. We're the only people that don't care.
Okay, never. Okay,
fighting
well,
for this stuff.
all right.
Once
then
I'm all
forget it.
done-
What do you think Vorpal does?
What I think Vorpal does, it has a chance to decapitate.
I think that's right.
What up?
We can
I'm not even part of your D&D nerd groups.
You're
I
Don't talk like you're Mr. Cool Guy.
I realize.
you've done some nerdy things in your day.
Oh, just a couple.
Yeah.
I'm
I'd be
still-
kind of worried if you hadn't.
I mean,
let in the chat
use nerd.
run
People always get mad when I
so I
say
can
that.
see
but
all the names and then randomly
nerd
click.
to me is a endearing word, not
Yep.
not a negative connotation.
All right.
Am I dying again? I'm probably dying.
Wow.
And then
You guys really want this?
Lots of people going for the Zelda stuff.
Yeah. Like,
we could do a question that doesn't have to be timed too. It could be, hey, what do you? If you don't name yourself Link in the game, what name would you give yourself when you can change
Bucks.
your name? You know what I mean? Do people have a standby? And does anybody have any clever ones? I did laugh at the with that video the other day of the Pokemon people that did. Okay, I'm gonna swear now that they put in like the name of their character is oh shit, and it kind of made all the dialogue in the game kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
I like. People always think that. People always think their clever names are
They're not that
clever,
clever,
and
yeah.
they're not. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're-
like, okay. For instance, I get a kick out of this, and it is stupid. And I am not telling you that this is funny, but like, I named my Pokemon after Hollywood actors.
You do, huh?
Yeah, so I have a Charmander that's like Tom Hanks.
Gotcha. All right.
Like it's
So
stupid.
you're like, go get him, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I get a kick out of it. Or like, my starter was Edward Olmos.
Well, it's easier to remember sometimes than the silly Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Names. And yes, I'm making fun of Pokemon, and get over it.
so I opened up the viewer list and picked randomly, and Will Hero X is our winner of the Zelda swag. So
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I have to message you, Will, and you need to reply with your name and address, and we will put it with all the stuff to be sent. So, congratulations.
And that what? No, you don't have to give it to me. No, that's oh well. Thank you. He just wants me to take care of that
Or
for him.
you could give it to Andy.
Your choice, really.
And
I'm gonna go.
we
I
have a
bet
lot more to give. So,
Keep watching.
yes. Watch, watch, watch.
Keep watching, keep donating.
What? Magic Missile doesn't hit the Lich? Ridiculous.
Now you're making me think of the Dead Elwives skit.
I don't know that one.
Isn't that the, I want to get some Mountain Dew? Or
Oh,
whatever.
that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
I cast Magic Missile. What is
There
that?
ain't gir-
Will Harrell X.
Are there any girls there?
He
That's
won
right.
again a Zelda
like
shirt,
this
a Zelda plushie, and a keychain. And so just reply to
Oh,
me with
great
your
cleric.
name and address, and we will send that out. Congratulations again.
You'll get a kick out of this.
I'm not getting a kick out of this if you're talking about the game.
A brief cleric story
Okay.
is that
one or two.
so I don't know if the viewers know
Right
that
now
like,
it is,
like
but,
Miller
like,
is a
in the middle of the
DM for
Yeah.
D&D.
He loves the DMing.
Yeah, and
I'm to start.
I play in his group. He's
follow
great at
him.
it. But one of the constant frustrations that he has is that
And-
of the 7 or 8 of us that have played with him over the years, no one ever wants to play a cleric.
Oh, that
Which-
bothers him.
Well, it doesn't necessarily bother him, but like he's not a ruthless enough DM to be like, hey, if no one's gonna play a healing character,
He
Or
then
to
you-
put something in it that it has to. You
yeah,
have to
yeah,
follow.
yeah.
Kim is
Like,
up in
he's
a
like,
few
if no one's gonna
minutes.
play a healing character, it's not my fault.
I
if,
need to charge my laptop
This
a bit,
boss
so
wipes the floor with you. He doesn't do
we will
that.
be,
so
switching
instead,
out.
he has to find all these creative ways for us to like have limited ways to recharge our health because no one will roll the class that is built to do it.
That's kind of annoying.
Yep.
I don't. You know what? I'm gonna side with Miller on this.
Yeah. I mean,
He takes all that time to write. And obviously people don't know the DM, Dungeon Master, Game Master, whatever you want to call it. But like, Miller writes in giant scripts for these things. Like,
yeah, he spends a lot of time prepping for him.
and then you guys just kind of crap all over him.
Well,
huh?
no, but I mean, he knows when he's planning that no one's going to be a cleric.
Why is he friends with you guys?
Hey, you should have. No one should have to play. I mean, okay, you play MMOs. How often do you want to be the healer?
Okay, that's a slightly unfair question.
No,
But
it's the exact same
no,
thing.
it's not, because
Who wants to be the healer?
I end up healing quite a bit in those games. I just don't like healing because I've done it in so many MMOs. Like I was a paladin in EQ and I had to heal just because it was like a hybrid, but eventually it's not a hybrid. If you can heal in a game, you probably end up healing.
Yeah,
And I was a shaman in WoW, which I ended up having
because
to
no
heal.
one wants to be the healer, so the few people that do end up carrying this burden of like that's what they do all the time because no one else wants to do it.
Yeah, but it's cool to be. It is fun to be like the guy that saves everything. And if you play a cleric, you are the guy who's going to save everything. And like I know like the big fighter thinks he's cool, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying.
I mean, there's some truth to
like
that. At the end of the day, I just like
You've
rolling
read
lots
some
of.
Icewind Dale trilogy.
I like rolling lots of damage dice.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I hear you.
Oh, Displacer Beast.
So this is going to end soon because they're going to pull the plug on us. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
We can still fight the Displacer Beasts though.
Not that I haven't enjoyed talking games.
All right, that's fair. Jason's pulling the plug on us.
Oh no! Please don't pull the plug.
We're too real.
Please! I want to keep playing. We haven't beaten it yet. I will say this much: we have done better than Dan did against Mike Tyson.
Yeah, we've actually beaten a single enemy.
Yes.
So, I mean, we did better than him, like in our first 2
And I
seconds of
dodged
play.
once or twice.
Yeah, yeah. Dan's problem isn't not dodging; it's dodging all the time.
Yeah. Should we turn it off?
Yeah.
You want us to turn it off? All right.
We don't need it. We don't need to finish it.
Who's up next?
Where's our whatever. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. It's
We were going to promote who was next.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is immediately next. All right,
okay,
well,
yeah.
Stay tuned.
There you
stay
go.
tuned for Kim. She's gonna play some Earthbound. So
And
yeah.
Hanson, you were selling me on it. Now all of a sudden I'm saying people should maybe go do something else. I'm kidding.
Play Earthbound yourself without Hanson.
No, it's fun to. Yeah. You'll have a better time. All right, thanks.
All right.
Are you playing it? Because your last one saved didn't work?
Yeah, they had that patch. I was hoping that would fix it. But
Still not?
there he is. That's the guy. I need him to go around and do something about it.
It's still broken.
I just loaded it up and it's like 8 hours.
You should start over. 8 hours isn't that much.
I know, but it's for a game.
Let me see how you have land for that. I still enjoy this game a lot. I'll play the 8 hours for you. Do you have a memory card?
No, I see that.
Okay. That's probably your problem.
He's like, he's there.
Oh, is it still? That
sucks.
Also, you can. It's like, how can they not fix that? How can they not give you something that just starts you off and like maybe you lose a half hour of progress? Who cares?
What is he stuck on even? That's the thing that I don't understand.
Some invisible geometry.
He's made it across. Keep making progress. Yep.
It's a good game. It started over. It's a good game. I'm pro Dark Souls.
I was
Where
too.
you're completely stuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy
won't agree with
That shit takes the wind out of your sails. I don't blame you. How much have you put into it?
Yeah, I think I watched you get top in the basement of a bar in Northeast at one point.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
I did do that.
That's right.
That was fun. That was a fun night.
You should jump in.
See, everybody in the chat is asking for you.
No, it's not like beating Darksiders.
Yeah. Okay.
There
There's
is.
Are we?
I still like those are
That's the.
Oh yeah.
That is the best way you could possibly say. No, thank you.
I'm a nerd for that series.
Just watching that unfold. I'm not the right person to ask. So.
Yeah, but isn't it dead? Like,
Yeah, it's dead.
No, I sit on the couch, but I kind of wanted to hijack this thing.
So that's the power right there.
Joe, you have good memory.
I know what the battery
No,
life
not
is.
THQ, but Darksiders was not.
No,
it wasn't original purchase, but in the second port drop, like when they went back and did that port deal.
It was some like weird German holding company.
You see,
all the kids want to prepare.
I ordered the way to make that game.
They got a lot of. Oh yeah, they got Darksiders. Yeah, they got Darksiders. So someone has it. I don't know if they'll do anything with it. They're not Yeah.
I want to play as that lady. What's the lady looking at? I'm so curious about the lady.
There's a.
hi Kim. Mics are live, but the visuals aren't. That's
okay.
the impression I have.
I have not, so I just got a Wii U.
I noticed that
recently.
because it's the Zelda one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't used the Wii U that much, so
But the first thing you did was you bought Earthbound on it.
yeah, of course.
Oh, that's natural.
I
Yeah, that was the big deal. Is in a Nintendo Direct they announced that. Oh yeah, we are live. That
Oh.
Earthbound was going to be.
Hi everyone. We didn't know we were live.
It's all right. We have not started this game yet.
Nope, I will start right now. How is everybody doing?
I'm going to guess that they're going to say they're doing really well, Kim.
Okay. Well, you never know. Things can be bad.
This is a weird combo. I don't think we've ever appeared on the air together.
No, we did.
In any way.
We did some podcasts or something.
I guess we did the
together.
Super Replay Showdown where I made you sing.
Yeah.
I still have that video on my phone.
No.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked that.
Never again.
That was really fun.
She hated you so much.
Yeah, that was
Well,
real
that's
hatred.
what I loved about Super Replay Showdown, because like people don't understand that I just like to give you shit all the time, and like they're like, "Oh, you're so mean." Oh, I got a language bomb. Okay.
This is gonna get rough. You think Earthbound? Yep, we got it. Okay.
I'm gonna do strawberry flavor.
You would think that Earthbound's a super peaceful game, but I'm fully expecting Kim to be dropping f-bombs and every
All right,
kind
I'm
of
gonna
bomb.
be quiet. I'm not gonna swear.
No, you can do it. You
No,
can
I'm
do
not
it.
allowed to. Jason just told me to behave.
I believe in you. that you will not swear?
It depends.
So yeah, we're debating what to do with the Super Replay Showdown this year. We still have some time before it comes up, but I feel like there was a debate about maybe like splitting it into 2 teams, and like Jason and I will be like the captains, and then we like pick who's going to be on our team, and then we go up against each other.
Oh, that's cool. I actually like that idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff we can do, or just put somebody else in charge of it. I know Reiner wanted kind of like a Sports Center style like host, like that's what he wanted this year, was me to like sit behind a desk and like explain what was going to be happening and how each round went and stuff, but it was still pretty cheap and easy this year. It was just like a quick weird intro and go.
Favorite homemade food? Let's see. Let's look. Steak, pie.
Wait, you care?
I care. I'm looking. I don't want to type it in. I'm
You
lazy.
really should. Let's make it
Oh,
personalized.
I love cake.
It's all don't care.
Hang on, stop. No, let's. Okay, what's
Cake
your favorite thing?
is a
Stop.
serious thing.
Okay, stop. Don't do this one yet. Community, what is your favorite
Hanson,
thing?
we want to get to the game.
No, this
And
is the most
you're-
fun part of the game. It really is. This is the highlight
I know,
of the game.
but I will pick one from this.
No,
Rockin'
that's
is
super
my
boring.
favorite
Always
thing.
rocking.
Hammer, love, gifts. That sounds like me.
No, people recommend butts for this one. That seems to be the number one.
Hey, look, we can
choice.
put gaming.
Just
How-
put butts and make people happy, Kim.
Oh, I wanted to do rockin', but okay.
This is much better. Yeah, butts with a Z seems to be the most popular
I know.
choice by far.
Hi. Good.
Peepo gets some votes in there too, but butts is the overwhelming winner. That's good. There we go.
You go.
down
you
to
guys
okay.
happy? I'm here to make you guys happy.
It seems super happy.
Yeah.
Coolest thing.
Yeah, I never get to say it enough, but I really appreciate everyone who reads our magazine, comes
That's
to the
true.
site.
But we'd appreciate them more if they donated to this Extra Life thing, and I think it's back up now, right?
Well, I was getting there, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can look like the greedy one.
Hi, Andy.
So, Hanson, have you played Earthbound?
Yeah. I've started this game 2 to 3 times, and furthest I've made it is maybe like 10 hours, 8 hours, somewhere around there.
How old were you when you first tried it?
This
This makes a big difference.
Yeah, well, I didn't own a Super Nintendo, so I
What?
played it through my computer in a nefarious way when I was in high school, and I really
were
loved
you
it.
too young to own a Super Nintendo?
No, I was too poor.
Too poor?
To own a Super
That was a
Nintendo.
big deal for me. I mean, a lot of my favorite games, Final Fantasy VI, Earthbound, Secret of Mana.
Yeah, see, I played all those, but I played them all through ROMs on my computer. But I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so it was like when I got to be really good friends with other people that were gamers, they introduced me to the concept of RPGs. And like
Okay.
started with Final Fantasy VII, and then it was like, what? There's more of these, and there's this whole other system called the Super Nintendo. So then I went back and played all those, and I didn't get that far in this one. I really liked it. I think everybody loves this game. But I don't know how many people have actually finished it.
Not to brag, but as many know in this group, I was part of an AOL Earthbound fan club.
What year is this?
This is like like when I was in middle school, so probably like 98, maybe 99.
And what did you? Was it like role playing crap?
No, I mean you just got members and you just talked about the game.
What is there that much to discuss? Is it like battle strategies, or is it
No,
talking
was
about the
just a
lore?
anyway, so what was cool was that our Overblood group, some of them made me my own new Earthbound fan club. So I have one on Facebook.
How active
and I
is
talked
that?
to them about them. You know what? We were really active at first. It's kind of my fault. I've been really busy the last few months, but
Yeah.
you know, I try to go in there and chat when I can.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll make a special. What's up?
This looks really weird.
No, it doesn't.
I think I still like the art style. It's funny that it holds up better than Final Fantasy VIII. But just the idea of like having the smaller picture when you're in the house and it kind of moving around in that weird dimension, like especially looking at the stream, because this looks like it's being masked out in some areas. But it's just a funky looking game when you're walking around in a house.
This was a smart mom. She's like, I'm not going to tell you not to go because I know you just go anyway. So she's accepted it.
I'd like an RPG, and maybe there's one that I'm not thinking of, where it starts out and you're a kid in the house and you're leaving Pokemon style, but then the mom comes with you. Like,
You know
family
what?
team
One did
members
that.
in RPGs.
Wait, Grandia 3 did that.
oh, really?
But then halfway through, so what was devastating about that was you had the mom in the party for the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And then you have to leave her, but you kind of became attached to her. So it was kind of like this whole goodbye send-off that it hurt a little.
It's really annoying. I mean, outside of even the family aspect, just having RPG characters with
Yeah,
you for a long time, then
no,
they leave halfway
yeah.
through the game.
And
It's so annoying.
And I think if they would have stuck with her, it might have been more interesting. But of
Yeah.
course, the mom looked like she was 15, so
Yeah.
that was a little.
Scantily clad mother running around. I've never played a Grandia game. That's one big RPG series I've never
Wow,
touched.
Those great battle systems.
Yeah, what's so special about it? Because I know
You can
Child of Light's like
cancel-
channeling
yeah,
it.
you can cancel out attacks
Is that
with
the main thing?
criticals and stuff. Yeah, it's fun.
Huh. So is it Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast? Is that the way to go, or what's the number one?
I mean, you could play it on the PS2.
Yeah.
That's pretty popular. The first one's pretty good too. That's on PSN Classics right now.
Right.
What happened with 3 was like hit and miss
Mm-hmm.
at a lot of points of it. Like there's parts I liked about it, but then it definitely wasn't the best from the
Yeah.
series. So,
Yeah.
and then they were working on an MMO in Japan, and it just like never really went anywhere. So
Would you ever play an MMO in one of your beloved series? Like, would you play like Dragon Quest X if it came here?
yeah, I would.
Oh, really?
I was so so I went to Tokyo Game Show, and that was there.
Yeah.
And I was so excited about it. I actually wrote a preview for it for the magazine.
I
like,
remember.
In case, yep. That was like one of my first previews.
I
was all
think
about
I
that.
might have thrown that your way because Miller, who's the preview editor,
Yeah.
he does this great thing, which I always love, where every month
Oh
he goes
yeah,
around
no.
and
Do you
he
know
says,
what?
Huh.
All your suggestions always get thrown at me, and I always know who it is. And it's like
Yeah.
that Ben Hansen.
Well, it's fun because Miller goes around and he says, hey, what games are coming out that you think we should do a preview of that we haven't covered in a while?
Mm-hmm.
And then I listen to the 8-4 Play podcast, and they talk a lot about Japanese games. And so I always have games that might not be localized here in mind,
Mm-hmm.
like Dragon Quest X, and then default flying fairy crap.
Yeah, I knew that one had
Okay.
a chance.
So I
was
say, hey, we
happy
should do a
about that.
preview of that. And then
Yeah.
since I don't write for the magazine
Yeah,
because I'm
then
lazy,
it usually goes to
it
me.
immediately goes to Kim, which is really satisfying for me.
Oops, who am I talking to? I can't talk to air. Are we annoying people with this?
No, people are just making puns off my name, which I guess I should have expected.
Guys.
Some people,
be
I don't know why,
nice.
but they're talking about Xenoblade, which is a game that I
That-
liked a lot.
yeah.
Did you ever finish that one? What happened with that? Because I know you started it.
I started it and I never finished.
Finish it, Kim. You really need to finish it.
Okay.
The ending is awesome, but it also takes forever.
Well, that's so.
You have put in 200 hours to
Wow. Jeez. Yeah.
This
so
is the problem with like RPGs is that I review so many for the magazine that it's so hard to play them in my spare time.
Yeah.
On top of that, so Xenoblade was one of those that I kind of missed out on, and I wanted to, but then I just like get bombarded, and you know.
yeah, I can see that.
It's tough.
always. Yeah. I don't envy you for having to play all these.
Guys, I thought I was supposed to have a bat by now, or is that later?
So you go up, you find the aliens that
Yeah,
crash
I know.
land. Have you? So you finished this game? I take it.
Yo, I used to beat it. I beat it numerous times. I haven't gone back and played it since middle school. So me and my
Really?
friends had sleepovers, and this was what we would do. We'd play Earthbound.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Do you
I
ever do
was-
stuff like that still? Have like a gaming night where you just have friends over?
No,
Do you have friends, Kim?
no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not since I moved here. I guess.
Yeah, where are you gonna find gamers here? I
I
feel so
know,
sorry
right?
for you.
It's not like any of you will ever hang out with me.
What is a gamer really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I always feel the way. Like I spent so much of my childhood just like having friends over, and then we just play one game throughout the entire night. Just like a weird game like Tiny Tank for the PS1. And now that we have the Vault, I always want to do that, and I haven't really taken advantage of it. Like I think we tried to do it a while back. We went over to Dan's place and we played Rascal for PlayStation 1, and it is genuinely the worst game I've ever seen. It needs to be a replay at some point because it is incomprehensibly terrible.
Oh wow, this is very picky. Clear, out of the way, get out of my way. This game just had like
What?
funny humor.
Yeah. I think Kotaku ran an article with the guy who localized it. Have you seen that?
No, I need to read that.
Yeah, no, it was pretty short, but it was just him talking about he's glad that it finally is getting appreciated. And there is a weird fan base for this game. I always appreciated it because it's rare that there's an RPG set in theoretical current day.
Mm-hmm.
So I always liked that the weapons were just like bats and stuff.
Yeah, I loved that everything, like the towns,
Yeah.
going through them. And then I remember with this game actually made me call the Nintendo helpline because I didn't realize you had to stand under the waterfall for a set amount of time.
That's in the main path. You have to do that?
Yeah.
Do they give you any hints?
They did. I just think me and my friends glossed over it, or I don't remember what it was, but I do remember calling Nintendo helpline.
I think my first exposure to this game was through Smash Brothers, and I'm sure that's for a lot of people. Like playing Smash Bros. And then N64, and like I see NES, and I just assumed that it was a play off the NES. Mm-hmm. That was my first guess. Like, oh, this is like a personified console guy. I had no idea what was going on, and then I understood it, and then Super Smash Bros. Melee came out. I think it's Melee, or is it? I think it was Brawl that had Lucas. And that was another case of like, who is Lucas? What is going on? And then it's like, oh, I guess there's a couple mothers out there that have never played. So this is Mother 2, right? Mm-hmm. So Mother 1, how does that work? There's a prequel to this?
Mother 3 is the one that I think we wanted to get. We thought we were going to get after this, and we never did.
Yeah, that was the Game Boy Advance one that like the fans have translated and stuff. Yeah. But I'm still confused. I think, is the first one for the NES then?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's one on the NES, people are saying.
Yeah. I always know certain things, but then I'm like, I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to speak.
I don't know why you'd
like
feel any pressure to...
I do. I always feel pressure.
Yeah, because there's a microphone sticking in your face.
I know.
It's the worst feeling.
My land.
So I like the atmosphere of this game. It's jokey and it's fun, but I really hate first-person battles. I think that's the reason I never really got into Dragon Quest. Do you like those in RPGs? It just seems lazy and sloppy to me.
I love this because you always talk to your dad on the phone.
That's good.
Oops. I can't talk. I guess I gotta check it. Whoa. Wait, hold on. There's someone at the door. This guy's a jerk.
It seems pretty cool. Look at that face. Does this game actually have a good battle system, do you think? Or is it just the personality?
It's the personality. Like, funny things happen during battle. I mean, as you get over leveled, all you have to do is touch an enemy and they just die.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the bump. That was cool. No, it's,
Huh. I know that Tasha Harris, who used to be at Double Fine, I guess she was a huge fan of this game, and that was where Costume Quest came from. Okay. She just wanted to make another Earthbound game. Just a super fun, simple RPG with kids. That's what she went with. And also playing this game makes me think about South Park RPG and how much I want that stupid thing. Are you looking forward to that? The Stick of
Truth? I
Truth?
totally started reading the text.
Never
and
read
paying
the text. What are you
to
doing? No, but the South Park RPG. Have you seen much of that?
I've seen some of it. You know what? It's weird. Like, we came off of E3, and I thought people were pretty positive about it.
Yeah,
like,
for
a lot
sure.
more positive than I was actually expecting.
Yeah.
Because whenever it's licensed, you never know.
Yeah.
But, then we didn't hear anything about it, which was weird. And now it just
we're
got...
constantly contacting Ubisoft, who took it over from THQ, asking to do previews and stuff.
Yeah,
and they're super vague about
yeah.
it. They're like, maybe sometime. Yeah, we did the cover story for that a long time ago, back in 2011. And the second I heard about it, I lost my mind because I love South Park and I love JRPGs. And then when I found out that it was based largely on Paper Mario, that's like my favorite series. And so it's absolutely made for me. And so it was my number one most anticipated game for 2012. And then it got bumped. And then it was number one for 2013. And then it got bumped. And now 2014, we'll see.
Do you feel better or worse when games get bumped like that? It always makes me nervous.
This one has me nervous just because it seems like they should have had it done a long time ago. And from the small glimpse that we got for that cover story of what it's like to work with Matt and Trey and what a nightmare it is, they're geniuses, but they're wild control freaks. And so just from that small glimpse of trying to work with them on that, I just think it'd be a headache. And I feel so sorry for Obsidian that they're just stuck in this hell of trying to get, like, the sense we had when we were at the studio was that entire development team was just ready to go. They had all the tech ready to go. All they needed was for Matt and Trey just to sit down and write and start doing some of the work. And they're so busy and they like to leave things for the last minute and they constantly change their minds. And they're perfectionists that, it just was really slow to happen. And so like there was a ton of stuff that we saw on that cover story trip that then just got scrapped because Matt
Completely
and Trey
gone.
are like, maybe not. And Second Obsidian's like, all right, we'll try it again. So I'd imagine that it'd be absolute hell to be on that team. But that said, the gameplay videos still look great. It still looks like Paper Mario, and I'm really excited for it.
Oh, there's the call. See, I've been checking the phone because I knew this was coming, but
Yeah.
just way too soon. Like I said, it has been. Well, actually, we did a replay.
Yeah, we did the
of this.
replay. Did you
I
play
know.
the
My-
replay?
No, I didn't play it. Kyle did. My memory is horrible.
Wasn't there something about you saying something really embarrassing on that replay?
Yeah, about the fan club that.
Okay, that's where that came from.
You know what? I was a passionate kid. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna deny it.
No, that's completely fair.
Wait, there's a fan club for what? Can you
For
recap that?
Earthbound
They
on
made me
AOL.
one on Facebook now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it looks like Extra Life is back up if you guys want to donate.
Oh, it's down again?
No.
It's sporadic. It's
Oh, really? So I'm hearing that it's sporadically
Still
up.
kind of coming back.
Yuck. So try to donate, see how it goes.
And if you can't donate again, and then just keep
Donate,
donating
donate,
until you
donate.
realize that you've donated too much money, and then just be like, it's going to a good cause.
Seems to be the
It's
way to
funny
go.
because I didn't realize how Extra Life worked. So yesterday I finally put an account in
I
my
saw
name.
that. I'm like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, because Tim's like, yeah, dude. I was like, oh, I just thought they donated to Team Game Informer, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize as an individual, like I had to put my name in, and so I like had like maybe $25 of donations, and that was it. And of a goal of 100 to be on the, and then I felt like a slacker. I'm like, should I have been like really promoting this? Like I thought we were doing it all through Game Informer,
Yeah,
so
that
I
was
got
just like a
all
communal pot.
confused,
Oh,
and
that's
now I
really
just
weird.
feel awful. Like
So
a
we have
slacker.
individual ones that are then part of a team? Is that the idea?
yeah.
Yeah, they.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't make my own individual one.
What?
Yeah, I
just
still
knew
have to do that.
Yeah.
People would have figured it out.
a live stream is the one to focus on.
Okay, GIO live stream is the one to focus on. I got it.
It's a good one.
But back to South Park. I remember it's so simple, but it's just this image that I can't get out of my mind. Like I was so excited to see that game, and we got to the studio, and sitting on one of the lead developers' desk, he just had Paper Mario: 1,000 Year Door and South Park the movie. Just those two DVD cases on his desk, and seeing those together, and knowing that they're trying to fuse those two things. Like, those are my two favorite things. I am still so excited about that, but we'll see if they actually pull it off.
I always hope for the best when there's delays, and I think the unfortunate thing happened with South Park 2 was THQ, and
yeah, that was
I
weird.
think that made an impact too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there was an interview with Matt and Trey. I forget where they said it, but they were talking about when THQ went down. They're like, "Oh, that's too
shit.
bad."
I'm just going around and around on the same dialogue.
Weird.
All
But they said like they were
right.
almost like relieved because they felt like, "Oh, now we don't have to make that game anymore." And then I think it might have been at E3. Is that when they said this?
Probably.
And then when Ubisoft picked it up, they said that they got re-energized to work on it, whatever that means.
I'm
means
sorry,
they were getting paid
people.
money still?
I am bad. This is why I never want to play anything in replays because I'm not good at focusing on
See,
two things at
Somebody
once.
You can't
wants.
mess up with Earthbound though.
Yeah, it's so
That's
nice.
what I figured.
It's just
but
chill. Just let the adventure just take you over.
Is a snake jumping down your throat chill, John
it's
Carson?
scary,
Yes.
man.
It's a
you
coil snake.
enrage.
It's gonna
Ugh.
bite at you.
Engage.
This looks
whatever.
so
I can't even
ugly.
read. See, I'm tired now.
Bash
this
it.
is bad.
Yeah.
Bash that snake.
You can do it.
Wow.
Pokey,
The
See,
only-
he apologizes.
Pokey's not gonna
profusely.
do shit.
Yeah,
cute.
because he's a brat.
King's gonna do like 1 damage.
Are you a big Dragon Quest fan, Kim?
So I love Dragon Quest VIII. Mm-hmm. It's like one of my favorite games.
Is that the
but
first PS2 one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the one with Dual Magus.
Dual Magus. I remember it looked really beautiful back in the day.
Like I've always liked Dragon Quest because I kind
Yeah.
of grew up with
Dragon
Quest.
Warrior?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, did you play like the first Dragon Warrior?
My grandpa did. My grandpa loved RPGs, and that's how I got.
Here's a question: did he
loving
get
them.
turned on to it through that Nintendo Power giveaway?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
But that's like
Well,
I
was
said.
that the only way it was distributed here?
I don't know. I know that was a very influential move of
Yeah.
Nintendo Power, but I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
exactly
it's
if it's
a
the
big
only
move.
way.
I just know that he was big on that Final Fantasy, so I
Yeah.
had that all.
I remember hearing Phil Kohler on a podcast. It must have been, I don't remember where he was. It seemed like he was a guest on like a One Up podcast after One Up exploded, but he was really raving about Dragon Quest V and the fact that it's so cool that you get to live this entire person's life. And so that was the only Dragon Quest I played. Is I went out and bought
Okay.
that one, and I really, really liked it. but I still think the battle system is so stupid. I just want to see my characters.
It's simplistic, like,
Yeah.
Well,
and
you
it does
can.
have depth because you have to pay attention to really strategize your moves.
Play
Because
like 9. 9, you could see your
Nine,
characters.
you can-
There's a
that's
lot
the
of
DS one.
See,
I
I don't
imagine
like
that looks
9.
like crap by now.
So 9's weird because it was originally wasn't it originally supposed to be a multiplayer centric thing? Like you can still do multiplayer.
Yeah, it falls in
But
that
it's-
camp of like
You don't have actual characters in your party. You have people that you pick up at an inn, and they're
Right.
blank slates. Like, oh, they're like a specific class, but you can always change their class. You can change their gear. They don't have any input on anything.
Yeah.
can
it kinda-
I get a magic butterfly that just makes me relax when I'm at
Yeah,
work? I think
just
it just
gotta-
make life so much easier.
You gotta catch that magic
It's called
butterfly.
Xanax, I think, Kim.
Ho ho ho! What?
It's all right.
What is this Xanax you speak of?
It's a magic butterfly.
But I think Dragon Quest 9 falls in the camp with Peace Walker, where it's like I want to play it,
yeah.
but the entire time I'm just thinking like, well, I'm missing out if I'm not doing multiplayer, and so it's not
No,
really
I don't think that you're missing out if you're
No,
not doing
you're not
multiplayer in that
missing out.
game.
in
Can I
Peace
check
Walker or
that?
Dragon Quest 9.
Dragon Quest 9.
Caution.
Okay.
There are still lots
I know
of
Tim
fires
just
burning
went back
here.
and played it not that long ago. Talk to that shady character in the
Or
corner.
you should play like, did you play the DS remake of like 5 or 6?
Yeah, just the
Okay.
DS version of 5. That's the only one I've played.
Okay.
Ever.